All right, good morning, everyone. Thanks for being here. I'm Alex. I'm a functional consultant at Odoo, and I'm here today to introduce you to the product comparison tool in the new version 11 of Odoo. So, first of all, let me give you an example of what a product comparison tool is, and then we will go into the details of why you need it and what your customers expect from it. Okay? So, to give you an example, let me go to the website of Home Depot. That's a big appliance and houseware store in the US, and you will see that they have such a product comparison tool, and we will see how it works. Okay, so here I'm shopping on the Home Depot website, and I want to buy, let's say, a fridge. I'm not sure which fridge I want to get, so I might want to actually compare the different models they have to see what are the specifics of each fridge and what are the benefits I can get from one fridge or another. So I know that I want a French door fridge. It's a fridge with two doors. And I'm not sure which one exactly I want to get. So let's say that I want to compare these two here. Okay. I want to compare their prices. I want to compare their characteristics, and I want to compare the specifics of each fridge. Okay. You see that I can select them, and I have a button here that allows me to compare the both fridges. So I click here. And I have now this view here with the two fridges where I can add them to my cart. And below that, I have a table with the different characteristics or attributes of each fridge and how they compare to each other. Okay? For example, I will have the dimension, I will have the details of the appliance, energy consumption, for example, etc., etc. So you have a table here with the full details of the fridges to compare them. And later on, when you have made your choice, you can add one of them to your cart. Okay? So first of all, before we go into Odoo and see how we did this in our e-commerce, I want to see with you why do we need this feature on the e-commerce, and what do your customer expect from it, okay? So why would you need a product comparison tool on your e-commerce? First of all, because everybody compares. When you shop, you like to compare a product from different vendors, but also different products from the same vendor, okay? So you would like to see what benefits you can get from one product over the other, the price differences, etc. Another reason for having the product comparison tool is that it improves the customer experience by reducing confusion. If you have a lot of similar products on your web shop, your customer might be confused by the variety of the choice, so he might need some help to compare the different products that you have. Okay? It also increases the conversions by enabling your customers to make informed decisions. That means that a visitor on your website is more likely to actually be converted into a buyer if he has the right tool to make informed decisions about prices, about details of the products, etc. And finally, it also accelerates purchasing decisions because we know that if someone hangs too long on your website, there's a chance that he will actually leave the website and not buy anything. If he has the right tool to make quick decisions, to know which products he wants to buy, there's more chance that he will actually be converted from a visitor to an actual buyer. Okay? So now let's go into the specifics of what do your visitors expect from such a tool. What they expect is to see the main characteristics of the product on the product page, just as we had in the previous versions, and then an overview of similarities and differences of comparable products in the comparison tool. Okay. So let's see how it looks in Odoo. I will now make a demo. This is a screenshot of what you have to do, but I think it's just clearer on a demo. So I have created here a database in V11. First of all, in the backend, you just need one click to activate the product comparison tool. So you just need to go to the website app. In configuration settings, there's one checkbox here called product comparison tool. Okay, just need to check this and it will activate that feature on your website. All right. I also activated the wish list and I will come back to that later. Okay, so when this is done, I will now simulate a visitor on the website. So let me just go to the website. Here I'm on the home page of my company's website, and let's say I want to go to the shop. And as you see, we mainly sell iPads and iMac. So the principle of the product comparison tool is that it will compare similar products, right? So it's actually, in Odoo terms, it's actually one product with different variants, okay? So what you want to do is compare the different variants of one product. So for example, here, let's say that I'm interested in buying an iPad Retina display, but as you can see, if I go to the product page, we have different versions of that product. It could be either black or white, and we also have different memory sizes, okay? 16 gigabyte or 32 gigabytes. You can see that there's a price premium here for a bigger memory, and I'm not sure exactly which one I want to buy, so I might want to compare them, okay? So you can see here, there's a new icon here with the two arrows that will allow you to compare the different variants of a given product. So here I'm with the 16 gigabyte black iPad, okay? So I want to put this in my comparison list, and I want to compare this with the white 32 gigabytes, okay? So as you can see, this here gets populated with the products I want to compare, and I can simply open that box here and see the products. This is an overview, and if I click on that button here, I can see the details of the comparison table, okay? So you see here I have my products with their different attributes, okay? In the backend, I defined 3 attributes for these products: the Wi-Fi, the color, and the memory size. As you can see, the Wi-Fi, it's the same, it's actually the same attribute value, okay? The color and memory size might vary from one product to another. So you can simply now compare this one to this one. You can see that there's a 50 euro price premium on this one, and you can compare the characteristic, okay? And mainly you can see here that the difference is the memory size, okay? You can add another product on your list. So if I go back to my shop, you see that my compare box is still here. And let's imagine that I also want to have a look at the 16 gigabyte in white. I can compare it with the other. You can see that this gets populated. All right. And I can remove one of the products from here, or I can go back to the details where I can see the 3 products now with their different attributes, okay? From here, I can remove one of them, or 2, or even the 3 of them, okay? Let's say that I'm not interested in this one. I want to compare these 2, and finally, I decide to go for this one, and I can add it to my cart, okay? It's as simple as that, and here you're back in the cart, just like in previous versions, where you can process to the checkout. All right. Okay, so let's go on. Now, this is also a screenshot from the demo. I also have a bonus track for you, the wish list. So wish list is not exactly the same as the product comparison tool. The wish list is a list of items that you can save to buy later. Okay, they are not. They must not be comparable or similar products. They might be very different from one another. It's just a list that you want to save when you come back on the website and you want to go back easily to the items that you like. Okay. So why would you need a wish list on your website? There are many reasons, of course. The main ones are that it's mainly useful for a large product catalog. Okay, you don't want your visitors to navigate through hundreds of pages of products to see which one they like, etc. Or at least if they do that once, they don't want to do that again. So they want to save the product they like somewhere on your website. It actually motivates the customer to come back and actually buy. When the customer knows that if he comes back to your website and in one click he can see the items that he liked and just buy them, it's really easier for him, and it's really convincing to actually come back on your website. And we might also see that as a personalized CRM tool, in the sense that it's actually a tool for the customer, but it's actually personalized by the customer. So it's a feature that you offer to your customer, and he or she actually uses it to personalize the list. Okay. So let me show you how it works in Odoo. If I go back to the shop, and let's imagine that you can see I have one item in my cart here. Let's imagine that I'm interested in this iMac here. You can see the two icons here, the compare and the wish list. So the compare can also be activated from the generic page, and the wish list as well. So I can add this to my wish list. I will just make it this way. So there's a small animation you see. When you add it to your wish list, you can see that you have now one item in your wish list. I can also go to the product view, and I can also add it to my wish list from here. Okay? So now I have two items in my wish list. I can log out, log in again, and go back to my wish list. And I can see both products now. Of course, I can navigate again to the details of the product. From there, I can add them to my cart, and there's also an additional option to actually add the product to the cart and keep it in the wish list at the same time. By default, if you add it to your cart, it will leave the wish list, as you can see here, and there's again an animation to put it in your cart. So I have now two items in my cart, and I can see the small box here with the overview. But I can also choose to keep it in the wish list and add it to the cart as well. Okay, and in this way, as you can see, the iPad stays in my wish list. This is more for recurring purchases that you might make on the website. Okay. Now the main differences. Sorry for that. The main difference between the wish list and the product comparison, well, there are of course functional differences. As you can see, product comparison is more for similar products. Wish list is for a bunch of products that you like. Now, technically, the difference is that the wish list is customer based. So in Odoo, it's gonna be recorded with your customer. And the product comparison is cookie based, so it's recorded with the visitor session on the web browser. So if someone leaves the website and connects with a different browser session, he or she will still see the wish list, but not the comparison tool. Okay, that's a common practice on web shops. All right. So as you can see here, Amazon also have, sorry again. I will just turn this off. Amazon also has wish list. I mean, most web shops have wish lists nowadays. You see here, if I want to buy these sunglasses, I can add them to my list here. Okay, and then I can view my list. So it's similar as what we have in Odoo. All right. So now, as a conclusion, I will just wrap up what I just explained. So in a few words, why the product comparison and wishlist are cool. Mostly because they improve the customer experience on your website, and they also facilitate informed decisions for your customers.